Hey, welcome to Rockoli, YouTube's best channel for record collectors. This week, we're talking about Morrissey's latest album, a nice hidden gem that was suggested by a viewer, and some recent pickups. Stay tuned.
Get ready for Rockoli, bringing music to you. Rockoli, rock and roll, metal and country too. Get ready for the record of the week. Get ready for Rockoli.
Our record of the week is Morrissey's I Am Not a Dog on a Chain. I've been really digging this album. I love it. Really strong tracks on here. If you've liked Morrissey's last couple albums, Low in High School, World Peace is None of Your Business, this is right up your alley. It's the same producer, Joe Ciccarelli. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Nothing too out of the ordinary, is it? I like it. I like this one better than World Peace. World Peace is None of Your Business is probably my least favorite Morrissey album, and that doesn't. I'll listen to it occasionally, but it's not something I reach for very often. Low in High School, while not his strongest effort, I really enjoyed. There's several tracks on there that I really like. However, this one, it's becoming my favorite of his later discography. Really liking this. I would say the singles on here are fantastic. So Love Is On Its Way Out, Bobby Don't You Think They Know, and Knockabout World. Give those a listen. If you like those, I think you'll enjoy the rest of the album. Man, I just really enjoy it. Honestly, the only thing I don't like is the cover. I don't understand the choices that are being made on Morrissey's last few covers, and the album art, and even the singles are just, from a graphic design standpoint, horrendous. Take this one for example. The text is not even centered. Like, if you would measure out on top, the text of Morrissey is not center on the jacket. It doesn't make any sense. The color scheme, very odd. The angle of the photo, the image they chose, is this like downward up angle. It's very unflattering. It's not a very good photo of Morrissey, so I just don't understand the selection or what the thought process is. The music's good, but it's all a package to take in, to consume, and I think the cover is important. And coming from an artist that comes from a legendary band, the Smiths, known for these beautiful minimalistic cover art that is simple, elegant, and then we get this kind of stuff from him now, it just baffles me. I don't know if Morrissey himself is putting these covers together, or it seems like they don't know what they're doing. I don't know. It's very odd to me. But the album's very good, and I definitely recommend giving it a listen. This week's hidden gem is Ayreon's Into the Electric Castle. This was brought to my attention by a viewer, Michael. Michael, thank you. Michael and I have been having some good conversations about music, and man, this album is fantastic. Ayreon is not so much as a band as it is a project by the artist Arjun. These are a rock opera, like science fiction, storyline, concept albums, and it's in the progressive rock genre, but he sprinkles in a wide range of different genres. If I had to describe this album in one word, it would be cinematic, and it's not super easy to digest. I've had to give this several listens. There's over 140 minutes of music on this album. The story, it took a few listens for me to catch on to. 11 different vocalists featured on this album, and they all kind of portray a character. From what I understand, there's kind of this void in time and space, and this kind of godlike creator, unknown, has selected these characters throughout space and time. So there's a knight, a barbarian, a hippie, and a futureman, and they're all thrown into this story and trying to figure out why they were brought there, what they're doing there, where. And anyway, they're the voice, the creator, tells them that they have to go into the electric castle. So it's kind of their journey to the castle, and then once they're in the castle, what happens. Very long, but it's very enjoyable. I really liked it from start to finish. I've given it several listens now, and I probably like the first half better. I just kind of resonate with some of those songs more, but man, the musicianship, just really incredible. An excellent production. Just really, if you like progressive rock, this is definitely definitely worth a listen. Although if you're a big progressive rock fan, this is probably more well known to you. For me, I had never heard of Ayreon, and I grabbed this one and their debut, The Final Experiment. The Final Experiment is also a really, really good listen, but the development of Arjun's ideas and the story are definitely more impressive on this album. So I definitely would recommend giving this one a spin. Alright, it's time for some recent pickups. So as I mentioned before, I picked up Ayreon's The Final Experiment. This is their debut album, and really, really enjoyable. Here we have House of Doom, a Candlemass EP. I think there are 4 tracks on here. Really, really good. As you know, I'm a big Candlemass fan, so doom metal, nice soaring vocals, very good. This is John Mellencamp's Life, Death, and Freedom. I think this came out in 2007. This one's getting harder to find, so if you're a John Mellencamp fan, I definitely recommend picking this one up. This is definitely this is not like the 80s John Mellencamp. This is definitely more of his folksy, intimate kind of music. This came out my senior year of high school, and I remember I got this CD for my dad for his birthday. This one is NFR by Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey, not someone I typically listen to. I like some of her earlier stuff, like the Video Games single, but never really given her a close listen. But this album has been getting a lot of attention, and I think for good reason. It actually was brought to my attention by YouTube channel The Vinyl Truffle. He talked about this album on there, and he and I kind of have similar tastes. And anyway, Merrick, good suggestion. He was really, really high on this album, and I'm glad I picked up a copy. The Cure. So I'm very familiar with The Cure's singles, and I really like Disintegration. That album's really good. For some reason, I just never explored the rest of their discography, and anyway, I decided to pick up several of their albums, and this one, The Head in the Door, oh man, I like this album start to finish. This really, really, the Cure, their singles do not reflect the albums. Not to say that they don't fit. The albums overall are just more, there's more depth there than some of the fun radio singles. Anyway, really, really like this album. Then I got Faith. 17 Seconds, and Pornography. This one, I need to give more listens, but first listen wasn't really feeling it. From what I read, I think they were doing a lot of drugs at this time, trying to figure out musical direction. I think this one has grown over time on fans, so maybe with more listens I'll catch on. But first listen was a little and that's all my recent pickups. Well, that's it for this week, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'd love to know your thoughts on any of the albums we discussed and any future suggestions, artists I might like, songs I might like. Definitely want to check them out. So you just had a healthy dose of broccoli. I'll see you next time.